I have a 19-year-old niece, Destiny. My sister got pregnant with her during a one-night fling. She met her current husband during this pregnancy. He said he didn't care and would love her and Destiny as his own. He was true to his word until my sister had my nephew 2 years later. Then he changed. It became obvious that he preferred his son to Destiny. He wasn't outright cruel to her, he just wasn't interested in her like he had been before Michael was born. When my family called them out on this, my sister told us to mind our business and that he was a good father to their children. My sister went on to have 2 more children and, at age 12, Destiny began to act out. Anyone who wasn't a fool could see that she was acting out because she wanted to be treated like her siblings. Destiny would often come to me crying. When Destiny was 13, I finally secured myself a good job and home. By then, she spent most of her time at my place. I asked my sister if Destiny could stay with me. She didn't even hesitate. She signed her over to me. I know this hurt Destiny. She hardly speaks to my sister but occasionally talks to her siblings. But it's been me and her. They're living in a motel with a number. I know it's not my responsibility, but I do feel bad for my nephew and nieces. Am I the idiot for refusing to kick my niece out? So they finally met their destiny. Now that's karma. Not the idiot at all. They're still trying to run all over Destiny's life and show they're more important. Install cameras at the old house today if you don't have any, and make sure there is no easy way to break in. Get Destiny and her friends in the same room and make sure they all know your sister and her family are never allowed in the house. If they try to trick or force their way in, tell them to phone the police. The landlord decided to sell the house and your sister immediately had to move out? That's not how that works. Your sister is not telling you the truth, or she's getting screwed over by her landlord. Your sister needs to remember that beggars can't be choosers. She should be glad you'd even help her find another house at all. Exactly. I can't think of a single state that allows for immediate eviction. Almost every jurisdiction increased renters' rights, even on a month-to-month lease, post-global issue. Sister is lying about something. What do you want to bet they hadn't paid rent in a while? Sister is such an entitled, greedy mess. She wants OP's house that Destiny is currently living at for free, hence why she doesn't want OP's help in getting a new house because she doesn't want to pay for it, which I think is the real reason the landlord kicked them out. They haven't been paying rent. She is such an idiot doing that to her child over a house that doesn't belong to her anyway. She's mad she couldn't steal OP's second house via both squatter rights and pulling the "but we're family" card. I also bet it must sting that the child she disowned blocked her at the door and is living a much better life than when living with her due to OP. My wife and I have a toddler son who she watches as a stay-at-home mother. I run my own dental practice and because of this I'm able to afford to keep her as a stay-at-home mom. She and I were not together very long before she got pregnant and I had her move in after only about a year of seeing each other. We were married exactly a week after Landon was born. Since then, she hasn't been the best. I'll frequently come home to a messy house, our son unbathed, laundry not done and dinner not cooked. I brought this up on multiple occasions and she says Landon is a handful and she doesn't have time to accomplish all the duties. Landon is always a piece of cake to deal with when I'm home, as well as on the weekends, so I never really believed her, but I didn't want to get into a fight. Well, last week she went out of state to visit her mother who is in hospice. I've never met her as they've been estranged for years, so my wife and I decided it would be better to stay at home with Landon while she's gone. I took work off to watch Landon. It's been the easiest week of my life since high school. I did the math and changing diapers averaged 20 minutes a day, cooking all meals took 40, loading the dishwasher took 10, giving him a bath was about 30 minutes apiece, and cleaning took me about 25 minutes a day. He was so well behaved. We had the best time playing around, and I only spent about 1.5 hours doing actual work. I'm honestly upset at this revelation that my wife does nothing all day while I work to provide for her and Landon. She gets back tomorrow, and frankly, once she's over her mother, I'm planning on telling her after living in her shoes for a week, I need her to step up to the plate because the amount of effort she's been putting in is unacceptable. If she doesn't do it, I'll have her leave because I don't feel like taking care of 2 children. She's a bit younger than me. She's 27 while I'm 33, but she's used goods. Most successful men don't want a woman with a kid from another man. I understood she hasn't grown into more mature habits, but I feel like once you become a mother who gets to stay at home and be provided for, you should at least hold up your end of the deal. So, am I the idiot for telling my wife she needs to do better? She's used goods. LOL, grow up, idiot. No wonder your place is a mess. She's probably depressed being with you. Do her a favor and divorce her. I hope your wife gets with an actual doctor for logical reasons. Dude, you took only 40 minutes total to cook 3 meals. The math isn't mathing. What did you eat? Cereal and sandwiches? Don't worry, most men do not think she's used goods, so she'll be just fine. You, on the other hand, would definitely find trouble, considering what you're like. LOL. I can't believe you just posted that about the woman you promised to spend your life with. Ha ha ha, she's 27 and has 1 child. What is going to be child support and spousal maintenance from a dentist? She's going to be fine. By the way, she may be a complete mess because her mom's dying. OP is such a moron. I don't know if once she's over her mother is something I'd be inclined to say about someone I loved or even especially liked. I, 38 female, have a neighbour. We'll call her Sarah, 38 female. I'm married with 2 girls, pre-tween and tween, and she has 2 boys, same ages. Sarah is married, but her husband travels a lot for work and she works from home. I'm a teacher, so I have school breaks and summers off. Over winter break, Sarah's kids kept coming over to see if my kids could play. Play means they have been sent over because they're annoying mom and she's trying to work. Backstory, the kids were friends when they were younger, but as they got older they didn't really have much in common and they drifted apart. Her kids go to a parochial school and my kids go to public school, so they don't even have teachers or classmates in common. They don't have much in common anymore, and when they play, Sarah's kids fight a lot with each other and with my kids. One day over winter break, the younger one came to the door to see if my kids could play, and I told them they didn't want to play right now. Sarah texted me saying that she was on a work call and could really use some time with the boys out of the house. I caved and told my girls to try and find something they could do together. 10 minutes later, my oldest came upstairs crying, saying that one of the boys had made a nasty comment about how boring our house was and that it was dumb that I wouldn't let him play Xbox. The Xbox is my husband's, and it's in our family room, where I was doing laundry and watching a show. I told the boys if they were bored, they were more than welcome to leave. Now it's almost spring break, and Sarah just asked if I could watch the boys for 2 days because she has 2 busy work days and I'm off work. I told her no because we would be visiting family in Florida. She said okay and jokingly said, I guess I'll just hit you up in the summer. I replied and said that I would not be babysitting her kids over the summer. True emergencies, sure. I said, I'm sorry, but just because I'm not at school during the summer does not mean that I'm your free childcare. Yes, I don't physically go to work over the summer, but I take online classes for my masters and I teach online summer school. This means I'm also working from home. She blew up at me and told me I should help her because she's alone a lot, and now that the kids are older, it's hard to keep them entertained all day. I told her that I didn't care if the kids played together outside during the summer. Still, I would not be a caretaker or responsible for her kids unless she compensated me. I tried explaining to her that the kids do not get along the way they used to. My kids don't fight with each other like her kids fight with each other, and my kids don't really want them to be at our house all the time. Now she's angry and not speaking, and her oldest told my oldest that I'm not a good person because I won't help my neighbour. Am I the idiot because I won't watch her kids over the summer? Not the idiot. Just tell your daughters to tell him that he has a bad mom who can't even watch them when she's home. See how she likes that. Or that he's such a bad kid that good neighbours won't watch them for free in the summer. Also, what does her opinion mean for you? It should mean nothing. This is a one-way relationship where she takes and takes. What do you get in return? The Good Neighbour Award? The entitlement here is insane. A good neighbour is responsible for their own children and doesn't try to take advantage of others. You should also gossip and tell people that she sends her kids over unannounced and her kids behave poorly. And be honest. You've put in a lot of work for your students over the year and you deserve to have a little break as well. Find a list of local summer camps and give it to her. That's the most you can do for her. I, 30 female, got engaged to Jack, 31 male, last year. From the start, wedding planning was a nightmare. We were excited to celebrate and begin venue searching, but Jack broke his knee and couldn't walk for months. During Jack's recovery, his brother Paul got engaged to Eva. Immediately, the family's attention shifted. Paul and Eva had an engagement party, they got tour venues, and they got to go dress shopping. We were just the other ones. By the time Jack recovered, we realised that not only did we not want to compete with Paul and Eva, but a traditional wedding wasn't in our budget. It would be cheaper to elope in Greece with close friends and family and then honeymoon there. Happy with our decision, we told the family in May that we would get married in Greece in December. Everyone was excited for exactly 6 days, until Paul and Eva shared their date, 1 month before ours. It felt intentional. Paul has a thing about being the eldest and getting married first. Surprise, everything then turned to them. Band or DJ, white or beige linens, who would be the flower girl? Everyone only cared about Paul and Eva's big wedding, not mine and Jack's. It felt like everything was going wrong. Only one bridal party member, Taylor, said she'd go to Greece. Even my mom wouldn't come. Paul and Eva were determined to upstage us. Nobody cared about our wedding, and even the bachelorette party sucked, but that's another story. So Jack and I decided in July to do a private courthouse ceremony, something just for us instead of everyone else. Jack and I still eloped in Greece alone. It was perfect and we had a little of our budget left, so we decided to throw a small reception for friends and family back in the US when we returned. There we shared our secret. Jack and I married in July. People freaked out. Eva exclaimed, "What was the point of Greece?" and fumed the rest of the night. Our friends were quiet and kept to themselves. Taylor left early for an emergency. Even my mom left early. Later, Taylor called and said she felt hurt that she wasn't included in the real wedding. She was included. She learned about our real wedding when my family did. She was invited to the reception and to the beach, the two most intimate and expensive celebrations of my life. She used a lot of therapy talk like, "Your day isn't about me, I just wanted to be part of it." But nobody else complained, including my family, who were more important to me than anything. If they didn't feel excluded, why should she? My co-worker thinks I'm the idiot. She said people travelled for our reception on late notice just to be told they weren't important enough for the real wedding. But nobody cared about our wedding, they just felt entitled to it after the fact. Edit, there were 3 events. 1. Courthouse, July, just us. 2. Ceremony, honeymoon in Greece, December, just us. And 3. The reception in the US with the family is in January. Unfortunately, we had to uninvite my in-laws and Taylor from Greece after my mom couldn't attend. Oh no, another couple got engaged and married in a month when it's supposed to be your wedding year. They're clearly out to get you, there's no other explanation. You know what? You are the idiot. LMAO, you made up an argument in your head and hurt both families to spite them. Exactly. I'm convinced this whole thing with Paul and Eva is entirely in your head, and you made a nonsense casserole over nothing. Life does not stop for anyone else when Jack is recovering, and Paul and Eva can have their wedding whenever they go. It's not like there's a line or anything on who can have weddings first. You sound like you really crave attention, and your words and actions throughout the post are super off-putting. As for the actual conflict, I don't know why you decided to wait until right then and there to announce that. It sounds so weird to attend a wedding only for one of you to randomly throw out, "Oh yeah, we actually got married months ago, LOL. It really just sounds spiteful and a reason to stir up drama nobody needed. It would be cheaper to elope in Greece with close friends and family than honeymoon there. Cheaper for you, not cheaper for anyone else. A destination wedding, which is what you're talking about here, not an elopement, is always a big ask for all guests and wedding party. Your bridal party and family think you would have them spend a ton of money going to Greece for a destination wedding when you were already married. That was selfish of you. Of course your mom couldn't attend. Did you offer to cover the travel costs for her? I bet not. My God, just grow the heck up. I hate my 2 brothers very much. My older brother has a pre-tween daughter, Lana, and my younger brother has a teen daughter, Tori. I like Tori's mom, so I stayed in contact with her even after the divorce. This way, I was involved in Tori's life. We are very close and I adore her. However, I was never involved in Lana's life because I didn't get along with either of her parents. For me, she is more like a stranger's kid than my niece. I have a few nicknames for Tori, but I mostly call her Noodle because her hair is curly. A few days ago, my parents invited us all over, and when Tori and I were talking, I called her Noodle a couple of times. My older brother asked to talk to me in private. He basically called me an idiot and said I needed to find a nickname for Lana as well. I said, sure, how about Devil's Spawn? He called me a witch and ranted about my favoritism towards Tori. Am I the idiot for not giving my younger niece a nickname? Everyone's the idiot here. He is for expecting you to have a bond with his child that he hasn't facilitated. He shouldn't have been so demanding of a nickname like that, and you shouldn't have created a nasty nickname even if you never tell her. It isn't Lana's fault if her parents don't get along with you. You were mean to an innocent kid. You are the idiot. Sure, he doesn't get to demand that you suddenly bond with his daughter or give her nicknames, but even if you didn't say it to her, you needlessly insulted a child whom you don't even know and who, for all we know, could be a perfectly nice kid. Just because you don't like her parents doesn't justify this attitude, which she is sure to pick up on, even indirectly. You seem pretty immature and you probably need counselling. Geez, Opie only suggested that nickname to the brother. What's wrong with you all thinking they really called Lana that? Not the idiot. Nickname or term of endearment. It means you have a relationship with the person you're calling. While you don't like her father, and he was rude for calling you out, he cannot force you as you don't have a relationship with his daughter. Ultimately, he's wrong for trying to force the situation.